Yo, what's that word, chat? Back with another wavy one. When it all will go be a wavy one, let's get right to it and try and do this reaction real quick to this motherfucking video of Lil Baby versus Lil Durk. Let's get into it.
May actually be connected to a secret gang war that has been going on in Atlanta and has indeed claimed some people's lives. It all begun in 2021. You might remember, okay, Lil Durk had his home invaded, all right? This was in Atlanta.
I remember that.
Lil Durk shootout in his Georgia home. Suspects flee the scene. Okay, Lil Durk got a rude awakening when some people busted into his home and exchanged gunfire with him and his girlfriend. This was according to law enforcement. According to the Georgia Bureau of
They was blinking it out. Him and his shorty. I need a shorty like that. What the fuck, this little ass fly?
Investigation, the rapper and his girlfriend India Cox were the victims of a home invasion and aggravated assault this past Sunday a little after 5 a.m. So on this TMZ article, it says law enforcement told them about several unidentified individuals who entered Durk's home in the Chateau Elan neighborhood of Brazelton, an hour outside of Atlanta. No doubt that was a nice, got to be a nice community if Durk's living in there. 2021 times as well. This is Durk having motion at these times, all right? And it said that's when a shootout ensued.
Been having
GBI
motion.
says Durk and India discharged their firearms, but they were not injured during the incident. It's unclear exactly how many
both
people
blicking
entered
though.
the home, but cops are asking for tips from the public in the case as part of the investigation. They reached out to the rapper's attorney, Nicole Mormon, who declined to comment. Now, interestingly enough, before this home invasion went down, 50 Cent of all people actually apparently publicly warned Lil Durk. Look at this.
Now, when you look at some of these younger artists and you see how they idolize you and idolize your music, and then you see them get caught up, and now Lil Durk, do you have conversations with them and be like, I've seen this play before?
Yeah. Even with Durk, I was telling him, we was in New York, we did Power thing.
Mm-hmm. That's
Force.
first and last acting role at this point, right now.
But we did the theme song for Force,
Got you.
for the Chicago version.
Yep.
Then, like, I was like, yo, this is them, right? It's a real shit, right? He's like, yeah. His group. And I said, yo, just watch him. I've always had that energy myself.
He's saying,
He said,
Durk was
watch
saying, this
his
is my
crew.
He's talking about OTF and them, all right? He's saying, these are my guys, this is my crew. And 50 Cent's telling him, you need to watch them.
Yeah, he said, watch him.
Crew. Right?
Yeah.
Got to read between the lines with this. He said, just watch your own crew.
Just watch him.
Yeah.
Right now.
But we did the theme song for Force,
Got you.
for the Chicago version.
Yep.
Then, like, I was like, yo, this is them, right? It's a real shit, right? He's like, yeah. His crew. And I said, yo, just watch him. I've always had that energy myself in the middle of everything that was going on. I'm not just watching.
We know, Fifth.
The other side, I'm always watching. I'm like, wait a minute. Where you at Thursday at 3? If you got pulled over and you're not in jail, why are you not in jail?
When you said that,
Hey, yo.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
So if you got pulled over and if you're not in jail, why? He's talking about snitches in the crew now. He's talking about not being able to trust the crew, and he's talking about...
He said, like, his mans in them, if they get pulled over and shit with that shit.
what was his response to you?
He said, you know what? Somebody just came in my house. How do they know exactly what the address is? I don't give my address to nobody. Like, something happened.
The robbery in Georgia?
Yeah.
When India
He went straight to talking about that.
Damn.
So he said...
Know
when
where
he
that nigga
told-
lived at.
When Durk and 50 had the conversation about this situation, he said the first thing he said it came straight to his mind. He said, you know what? Someone ran up in my home. I was thinking, how did they know the address? Now, a few interesting things happened after this. Now, let's not forget, right? King Von lost his life in Atlanta. Durk was living in Atlanta and had his home invaded in Atlanta while Von was still within a year of Von passing away. Okay, but Durk laid down a lot of ties in Atlanta, but could he really trust everyone in Atlanta? Now, what's interesting, okay, a few weeks after Von died, 21 Savage, another Atlanta legend who you know from this channel, he was talking mad shit about me on his album, okay? 21 Savage clearly showed how much love and respect he had for Durk and Von by extension by giving Von's sister a Range Rover for her birthday a few weeks after Von passed. Look at this.
My car is so nice. Like, I'm so happy. And it's paid for, bitches. It's paid for. Oh, my doors is... Where the fuck is my car keys at? My car is paid for. I'm so happy. Ah, this is so nice. My brother 21 Savage bought me a car. I'm so happy. It's so nice. And I got a fridge inside of it.
So look, Okay, these Atlanta ties, they run deep. But, okay, not all is good. It seems like 21 Savage and these guys in Atlanta, not everybody was looking out for Von and DURK and their crew. Because a few months after she got that car, rumors started circulating on Twitter that Kayla B had actually been robbed for her chain in Atlanta, right?
Oh, damn.
This is somebody calling her out on Twitter, basically saying somebody steady online talking about you got your chain took and paid for it back. Give her what she want, please. All right? They're saying that people was airing her out. All right? And bear in mind, okay, King Von had been involved in a shooting with Lil Durk in Atlanta. Atlanta was frying, okay, from all of these situations, all right? She's talking about, can everyone go follow my new business page, please, and thank you. And then
Who
people
stole your
responded,
chain? Someone
"Who
said.
stole your chain?"
Damn.
So King Von's sister be getting involved in chain snatchings, all right? This is serious in Atlanta.
Yeah,
right?
shit going down.
People are atting her, saying, you ain't got that damn chain, huh? Very, very interesting, all right? And so apparently,
shit's crazy.
a little while after this, like within about just over a week, all right, or more or less a week, after these rumors started going around online about Von's sister getting the chain snatched, a shootout would break out in the parking lot of the Cumberland Mall in Atlanta, where a child and a man would both be hit. Now, I've covered this in other videos.
At
you
the
might not
mall.
realize the context.
Man, I be hearing about some shit be going down in Atlanta Mall all the time.
Until this video, this is crazy. Look at this.
We are also following a developing story in Cobb County tonight.
That's where investigators say a man and a child were shot in a parking lot outside of Cumberland
A
Mall.
baby?
A
child? I mean, like, that's crazy.
Denise.
Yeah, the shooting happened right in front of these restaurants here at Cumberland Mall. I talked to a couple of people who were eating dinner at the time they heard the shots. They looked out and saw people running for cover.
Like, it was just like a very chaotic moment.
I saw somebody hit the ground, people running.
There were people running and zooming and everything.
And they closed the shutters in the restaurant.
A shootout in the parking lot of Cumberland Mall. Witnesses say they saw people in two cars yelling at each other. Then they got out, guns in hand.
We hear
blazing at the
I
mall.
look around, I see the guys coming out of the vehicle that's facing the same
might be
direction
over
as
that
us,
chain.
shooting into the vehicle next to them.
Crystal Schmidt says they got back in their cars and sped through the parking lot, while one man was leaning out the window, still shooting.
Yo.
Anyway, a man and a young boy, about 8 years
It's
old,
not funny,
were both
but
hit by bullets.
yeah,
One in
because
the
of
leg,
that,
one in the foot.
especially.
Police say the child was
That
rushed
nigga
to the
said
hospital.
And the little
hanging
boy
out
was
the
such a
window.
trooper that he didn't even cry, nothing.
Oh,
He laid
damn.
there while this really cool nurse came and bandaged him up.
Shout out to the little boy.
So
That's
things
crazy.
are popping off in Atlanta, okay? And people are wondering who's responsible. Well, just 2 days after the incident, 2 members of a crew called MCF, or Money Comes First, will be taken into custody in connection with the shooting. And this will go around on Atlantology, which is the subreddit that basically covers all the Atlanta gang beefs and news and rap music and all that
MCF.
stuff. They said it was Lil Man Man and Runt from MCF, Money Comes First, arrested after having a shootout in a mall parking lot with ops striking a child by accident. Someone posted this after they got arrested, said, what the F did Runt do? Oh my God. They said, damn, Lil Man Man hard as fuck. What? When did this happen? People saying they went to school with him. What the hell? He was on the come up in the rap game. Right? Money come first. Getting some motion in the game and then getting in trouble. But the reason why this is relevant is because not only were these local rising Atlanta faces getting dragged into this situation, but the following month the authorities would arrest and identify, okay, they would arrest a third man and they would identify a fourth suspect who was apparently OTF Booner, okay? They said police would seek fourth suspect in Cumberland Mall shootout. The Cobb County Police Department are searching for a fourth suspect involved in the March 23 shootout at Cumberland Mall.
Oh, that's what
Police
it.
accuses
They
Michael
probably
Golden of
was, you know,
Chicago
having
of
shootout
shooting
with.
at 4 people and striking 3 of them, including a 6-year-old boy. According to the warrant, Golden was identified after leaving his phone at the scene of the crime. Why?
Damn.
Chicagoans always leaving your phones at the scene of the crime.
Nigga try to get up out of there. Nigga left the fucking jack.
To murder. Police identified Golden by a cell phone.
Fall out the
scene and through
pocket.
social media searches. The phone's data was obtained by police through executing a search warrant, and the warrant for Golden's arrest was issued. Police say Golden jumped out of a moving green Dodge Durango Hellcat, shooting at others before getting back in the car and fleeing the scene. Of the
When he
4
hopped
people,
out, his
Golden
phone was
accused of
fell.
shooting at 3 of the other suspects that have been arrested in connection with the shooting. Okay, so this shootout is going on between OTF member, allegedly OTF Booner, all right? And guys that are involved in this Atlanta crew. It says the child was hit by a single shot while he was exiting a parked vehicle, causing him to fall to the ground. The juvenile victim had to crawl away to prevent being struck from additional rounds. The warrant does not say if the child was with the other victims or simply a bystander. Jacarva Harris, 19 of Fairburn. Deshaun Powell, 19 of Atlanta. Karanji Reese, 18 of Atlanta, have been arrested on drug and gun charges, the MDJ previously reported. After the shooting, police found guns and drugs in the car the three men were in. According to the warrant for Golden's arrest, Harris was struck once in the foot and shot back at Golden. Harris was charged with reckless conduct for firing towards several people at the mall while aiming for Golden's car. Powell was hit in the back by a single round. Not hit. Now, interestingly enough, less than a month after that shooting at the mall, King Von's sister, Kayla B, is laughing on Twitter, talking about get everything back in blood for allegedly OTF.
I would say it's like having another producer in the room that knows exactly what your song needs. This is co-producer.
Yo. What's up with the headphones?
The fastest way to find sample.
Boona, all right? And guys that are involved in this Atlanta crew. It says the child was hit by a single shot while he was exiting a parked vehicle, causing him to fall to the ground. The juvenile victim had to crawl away to be
technical difficulties, but I think it's back. Yo, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was about, but
prevent being struck from additional rounds by a gold duck fire. She got her chain back, and she's saying getting everything back in blood for sure. All right.
So she got the chain back.
Listen, man. All right.
Hold on.
Right. People are her set going.
All of that was over this, like I said, over the
mall. King Von's sister, Kayla B, is laughing on Twitter, talking about get everything back in blood for sure. Winking face, demon emojis. Said, y'all been saying my shit got took March 13th. My jewelry, got my stuff. Go and ask him. So look, all right. I don't know if this is her saying, yep, we got it back. She maybe got a new chain made, but people are saying, yo, she got her chain back, and she's saying getting everything back in blood for sure. All right. Just listen, man. All right. Some people in the comments are saying she got it taken. Why are you getting it back in blood if your jeweler allegedly had your chain the entire time? Did you get it back in blood from your jeweler? It says the date says March. So it says she's showing old pictures of the chain. We don't know. All right. Did the chain get stolen? Said they've been saying my shit got took since March 13. My jeweler got my stuff. Go and ask him. Or did she get it back in blood like she was inferring? Well, what's interesting, okay, is that it was not long after this. It would be 3 months after this, okay, that people broke into Lil Durk's Georgia home, all right? All this shooting's going on at the mall. OTF members are getting, you know,
so
implicated.
It's going down in
all sorts
LA.
of things are going on. Chains are getting stolen. They're apparently getting back in blood, okay? And Lil Durk had the song Back in Blood with Pooh Shiesty. But interestingly, okay, just a month after, Lil Durk's home is shot up, and you know how Lil Durk likes to get down at gas stations, all right? And I'm not even trying to be slick, but you know how Lil Durk be out here getting down at gas stations. Well, just over a month after his home being invaded, a third man, right, an Atlanta man, is fatally shot at a gas station. Okay, it happened around 11:30 p.m. at a Shell gas station on Martin Luther King Drive and Fairburn Road. A man was shot and killed late Monday night at a gas station in the Adamsville neighborhood. Police say it happened around 11:30 p.m. and police do not know what led to the shooting. They're asking for the public's help and looking at any possible surveillance video. Look at this footage.
All right, breaking news right now. A man is dead after being shot outside a
this
gas
about to
station.
be
We're told it happened
Little
here
Dirk
at the
and
Shell
King Von?
at Fairburn in MLK.
Allegedly?
Police are looking at possible surveillance video out there, trying to figure out
what's he
what
trying to
went
say?
down leading up to this shooting. If you know anything, please give police a call.
So, remember how I told you 2 of the people that got arrested in this situation were members of this crew called MCF, right? Was it Money Comes First? Money Come First, right? 2 of the people that were getting shot at allegedly by the OTF member were from Money Comes First. Well, who was the man who was shot and killed at the gas station a month after Dirk's home was invaded? Yes, people, he was a member of Money Comes First. He was Mark from MCFGG, right? This is the news that he passed away. Interesting stuff, right? Deleted comments. People saying they're really not into it with nobody. He probably passed away from a gun swap or dice game if they were heavily in the streets. People saying he was a chill ass op. I ain't gonna disrespect him. He ain't nothing, never do nothing to me while he was alive. Rest in peace though. I didn't even know he died until last night. All right. So MCF members are now getting murdered, and no one really knows why. No one really knows what's going on. Interestingly enough, a few months after this, we actually end up seeing the news. Okay. OTF Boona is arrested for the shooting at the Atlanta Mall. OTF had Atlanta just on fire in 2020 and 2021. I'm not going to lie to you. They took that Chicago energy over to Atlanta, and the FBI has still got whiplash from everything that was going on. OTF Boona from Lamron was arrested for a shooting that happened in March outside a mall in Atlanta. He allegedly hopped out the SRT and started shooting into a car with 3 men. 2 of them got hit, and a child was hit in the crossfire. He luckily survived, charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault and no bond. These are the 3 men he shot at, allegedly from MCF. This is the detail of the shooting. You've already seen this, right? And this is the backstory, all right? This went under the radar in the Chicago scene, all right? A lot of people had interesting comments. They're saying, damn, Boona was living good as hell. They're saying, damn, no bond. Dirk going to have to pay for a good lawyer. They're saying this man's fried. They don't play in Georgia. But then they're saying from Georgia, your legal system's a joke. You can buy your way out of this. If you got Brian Steele, you might buy your way out of it. It's just, damn. So Boona was really shooting at Man Man from 4PF. That's crazy. I F with Man Man music hard. So now they're saying it's connected to OTF. It says, aren't they cool with Lil Baby? I wonder what happened. It's cool, but you can't control other dudes. They're saying, I hope this doesn't mess up Dirk and Baby's situation. It says they dropped a whole album after this happened. It was all the way back in March. But they're saying OTF going to get hit with a RICO. They're going to tie all of this together, and they're going to get the blame for all of this Atlanta violence. They better chill. They already finna get hit one in Chicago, and little did we know, Lil Durk decided after all this was going on, hey, why not get a private jet to Los Angeles and just roll the dice again? It's crazy, all right? It's like they want that shit to go on in Chicago because they don't play that gangbanging stuff in Detroit. They indict dudes quick. They asked me where I'll be in 10 years. I said the feds, Durkio, and that was 4 years ago before the murder for hire even happened. So why do OTF keep shooting stuff up in Atlanta? Because dudes be trying to rob them and stuff. Atlanta is slime city, just like Miami, right? If you rich in Atlanta, you a target. They don't call that slime city for nothing. Okay, so in Chicago, you effed up. You can't even live in Atlanta nowadays. I would not live in Atlanta. So the guy in the middle, second slide, is Lil Man. He cool with Lil Baby, right? Saying anyone else peep that? I'm sure he's tied in with Lil Baby. Their hoods are next to each other. Says Cobb County not going to play with these dudes, right? It is a problem. And they're saying, did he drop his phone, or maybe he was texting one of the victims? So the news of OTF Boona's arrest would go around. It would be on Academics' page, right? This ain't no secret. Before you all try coming at me, calling me the feds, this has been covered, okay? Academics page 2021. It's been around. Dirk affiliate, OTF Boona. This was on Rap, all right? At Rap. This had been out there, all right? So this ain't nothing new. But what is interesting, okay, is that Dirk would actually talk about the incident where they busted into his home eventually in 2023 with DJ Academics. He would speak openly about the incident and basically explain that that is basically what made him change his ways, and he's now got 24/7 security that are ready to kill for him.
Eve Online is about
watching. I got 24-hour security watching my house. Trained,
ready
not
to
trained,
blow.
not trained to go.
Diddy. Oh, that's
they trained to kill.
Oh, well, yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, I broke it down. I had to talk with all of them. Like, man, like, I kill one of y'all if anything happened to my family. Then me, I go to A to B.
You know, I can't lie, that's crazy. Telling your armed security that you will kill them if anything happens to your family is crazy.
Obviously, you've been around situations like that. But you think about your kids that could have been there. Your kids could have, you know,
You gotta be a father. Like,
then them niggas might, you know, try to feel away.
That type of shit.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Cause like they could have been a.
So not only this whole interview was a masterclass in self-snitching, right? Because you had him basically claiming responsibility for the murder of Lil Pab in this interview, but also, all right, if you read between the lines, Durk would basically explain that if Ak would ask, were the suspects ever caught in this situation, and Durk would sidestep the question.
Did they ever figure out who was behind that? That had to be an inside job. Like that nigga who clearly.
Only nobody come out. Nobody.
So he didn't say who. He
Nobody
said that they ever sold like that. He just said, "I don't let nobody come to my house."
Nobody's ever allowed to my house. It be our best friend never been allowed.
Yeah, I remember this interview. No friend's been to this.
I promise.
Your best friend?
I promise. Like it's people.
I
like,
could kind of understand.
I just don't allow around my girl and my kids. Cause it's
sure.
like.
Fat.
I don't know. It's like I'm just a different type of nigga. I'm not the. We're gonna have family night at DURK house tonight.
Right.
It's the.
Everybody at DURK's crib.
Yeah,
type shit.
We gotta everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey.
So he stepped up the security, but here's the last thing I want to leave you with that's going to blow your mind, and then you can go and do your own research into this. Right? Big Mark, all right, Mark from MCF, who was killed at that gas station like a month after Durk's home was invaded. A few months after a shootout where OTF member Boona shot at MCF members, including one person who was apparently affiliated with Lil Baby. Well, according to a February 2025 article, the authorities would actually tie this murder of Big Mark Lil Baby. All right, and apparently this murder would allegedly be the start of a war that Lil Baby's 4PF got into. Okay, it says arrest warrant confirms Atlanta rapper Lil Baby's connection to boys' murders. Deadly gang feud that claimed 2 young lives. A violent conflict between 4PF and OMF led to a fatal shooting on July the 2nd, 2024 in southwest Atlanta, killing 2 13-year-olds and wounding an 11-year-old. Police arrest 7 in connection with teen murders. Atlanta police linked the shooting to an ongoing gang feud and arrested 7 suspects, citing the incident as retaliation for previous violence. Lil Baby's name surfaces in gang dispute. Authorities allege that the shooting stemmed from the escalating gang contentions following a 2024 music video shoot involving rapper Lil Baby, though he wasn't directly tied in the incident. Said a gang-related dispute between 2 criminal organizations culminated in a fatal shooting on July the 2nd, 2024, leaving 2 young teenagers dead and a 3rd wounded outside an apartment complex in southwest Atlanta, police say. The attack was part of an escalating feud between the 4 Pockets Full 4PF gang and Only My Family gang. Not
I
OCF.
thought that's what they was gonna say.
But it's close.
Only My Family.
It's very close.
I just when I seen that, I'm like,
family,
I just
they're shooting at people with
that
connections to Lil Baby. It's crazy. Atlanta Police Chief Darian Sheba.
That's just the typo. Them niggas mean OTF for real.
Shirebaum held a press conference on Wednesday to announce the arrest of 7 gang members they believe are responsible for the boy's death. These arrests included Queontae Sanders, Richard Hollis, Reginald Thomas, DeKeithion Mobley, Marcus Crawford, Tradon Crawford, and Ali Caldwell. During the same press conference, the APD homicide commander Ralph Woolfolk connected the murders to cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper who decided to shoot a music video in a place he knew he shouldn't have been. Woolfolk said that his team would work relentlessly to hold the rapper and affiliates responsible for their actions. Incident overview. What we know. Approximately 12:34 on July the 2nd, Atlanta police responded to reports of gunfire at the Sparks apartment on Spark Street Southwest. When they arrived, they found 3 juvenile males shot. 13-year-old Lamont Freeman was pronounced dead at the scene, while 13-year-old Jacody Davis succumbed with his injuries after being transported to Elgilston Hospital. It's so sad. 11-year-old Dontavius Davis survived with a gunshot wound to his foot. Right?
That's crazy.
It's so sad. But here's where it gets interesting. Sequence of events. According to arrest warrants obtained by Fox 5 Atlanta, witnesses report that the Davis brothers had left their apartment just before midnight to wish Freeman a happy birthday when they were ambushed. Surveillance footage from multiple locations confirmed the presence of 2 suspect vehicles, a white Nissan Maxima and a grey Nissan sedan, that circled the apartment complex twice before 6 armed individuals exited and opened fire. Investigators recovered multiple shell casings at the crime scene, including 5.56 and 7.62 and 2.23 caliber rounds. The victims were struck multiple times with forensic evidence evidence indicating that Freeman suffered a gunshot wound to the head while Jacody Davis was shot in the chest. But here's where it gets very interesting. What started the conflict? The backstory. Authorities say that 2 of the criminal street gangs in Atlanta, 4PF, 4 Pockets Full, and OMF, Only My Family, are known to have historical conflict connected to the August 2021 death of 4PF associate Marcus Big Mark Holland. Now it says here, OMF is a subset of the Goodfellas criminal street gang. Police say the Goodfellas was reportedly established in the early 2000s and is often referred to as the Mob, or La Familia, or La Cosa Nostra, which is Italian for this thing of ours. Every criminal activity in which the Goodfellas is engaged in is geared towards making money and protecting their ability to do so. But they're saying, right, that the murder of Big Mark, 4PF associate, they were saying that he was part of this crew that was called, all right,
Money Comes First.
Money Comes First, MCF, okay? But this is him, right? So there's more and more information. People are tying it together. These are, you know, pictures and tributes to him. Very, very sad, but very interesting. So as the article goes on, it basically breaks it down. It says OMF is a subset of the Goodfellas, I already told you that, and 4PF is known as Atlanta-based rapper's personal brand and motto. His record label was previously named 4 Pockets Full, but it was changed to Glass Window Entertainment in 2024. Like that's going to help when all this is going on. It says ongoing gang violence in Atlanta. What they're saying, authorities say the conflict between 4PF and OMF has resulted in multiple homicides and shootings, especially since May 2024. According to police, Lil Baby, whose real name is Dominique Jones, went to the 2100 block of Verbena Street to shoot a music video, an area known to be frequented by OMF members associated with Dixie Court. 3 people were shot that day, a 23-year-old man, 24-year-old man, and a 27-year-old man.
Damn.
They all survived, and Lil Baby was not injured in the shooting. However, the feud between the gangs intensified following the incident, and that led to gang members retaliating throughout Atlanta, right? And that's when basically things got out of hand. We see eventually kids end up getting killed, but apparently a big confrontation, a big escalation came on June the 29th, 2024, when Trevante Turner was murdered at 9 Peyton Place. And following his death, his cousin and gang leader, Quionte Midnight Sanders, who's currently at prison, coordinated revenge against 4PF members through a series of phone calls and social media messages from behind the wall. So investigators uncovered communication between Sanders and several OMF affiliates and plans to retaliate. Basically, these communications identified the target as John J. Shot Smith, known to frequent the Sparks area and a close relationship with Lil Baby, with police referring to him as the 4PF gang leader in their warrant. This is bad, okay? This is bad for Lil Baby. No doubt he's changing the record label name, okay? And so the police would basically recover the stolen white Nissan Maxima used in the shooting of Freeman and the Davis brothers at a parking deck. And basically they would use forensic analysis to link shell casings found at the scene to previous gang-related shootings across the city. They would tie it all together. It's bad, okay? They were tapping phones. They intercepted phone conversations between gang members discussing the incident and efforts to cover up their involvement in the boy's death, okay? And a known OMF associate, Richard R.J. Hollis, was overheard instructing associates to destroy evidence, including shoes and social media accounts. A confidential informant, so they got rats all over the place, right? Confidential informant provided information implicating J-Man in the shooting, and the informant told police they had learned through a relative that J-Man really wanted Lil Baby, but it was hard to touch him. Instead, they were hoping to catch another 4PF member, and they basically didn't even know that the children were the people that got hurt in the shooting until afterwards. So, look, all right, it's all connected. I'm going to be doing a lot more digging, a lot more investigation, because this thing with OTF Booner is crazy, and then he's been indicted for another crazy murder. You probably remember this from the channel. This is OTF Booner as well, so he got another situation that he involved in, and this was the case where he basically allegedly, like, tied this guy up, kidnapped him, and shot him 17 times in a church parking lot.
File free in the app if you didn't file with us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do It Yourself by February 28th, no matter your tax situation.
That shit's ridiculous. Really going down there. OTF for shows getting into it. For shit show.
What police say led to a violent home invasion before an officer found a man's body at a Gwinnett County church parking lot. As Channel 2 Gwinnett County Bureau Chief Matt Johnson reports for us, police say the 4 suspects sent a disturbing message to the victim's wife.
Today, we're getting new insight on a brutal murder that police say began well before they discovered the victim's body at a church parking lot. A detective testified that armed robbers actually sent a chilling message to the victim's wife right before the murder. A Gwinnett County judge heard chilling testimony about how police say Raymond Cooper worked with 3 others in a deadly home invasion that left a father shot 17 times. A detective said the suspects delivered a terrifying message to the wife of Oscar Cruz.
They told her this would be the last time that she saw her husband and to kiss him goodbye.
Police say Cooper and 3 suspects met Cruz at a Waffle House on July 22nd at around 1 in the morning, where he got into their car. Investigators say the suspects became violent when they took Cruz to his home on Gin Blossom Circle, where the 28-year-old's wife was showering.
His hands were bound with duct tape, and there was a male pointing a gun at his head.
So look, okay, this is basically, I don't know how connected this is to those specific incidents, but essentially, Gwinnett County is just on the outskirts of the center of Atlanta. Okay, this is less than an hour from the center of Atlanta. So some people have said this might have had something to do with other situations. They were saying Duty Low got shot and robbed in Atlanta.
All the way there.
Some people say Basie was getting into trouble in Atlanta. I really don't know, but to be honest, I'm going to be digging even deeper into this situation. I feel like maybe there's a secret gang war going on in Atlanta that's got something to do with Lil Durk, all right? Durk, Von, they all went over to Atlanta and just started raising hell. And somebody's got to get to the bottom of this, okay? They're saying people connected with Lil Baby are getting shot out of the mall, and then someone's getting killed at a gas station the month after Durk's home gets... Bruh, this is crazy. Let me know what you guys think down in the...
That shit's wild, for real, for shit show. Oh, yeah.